Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. This episode is brought to you by The Wellness Paradigm, a holistic health coaching company shifting the way that women understand and heal their bodies. Through bioenergetic testing, functional lab testing, and functional nutrition, we uncover what traditional approaches often overlook, so you can stop guessing and start healing and finally feel like yourself again. No more one-size-fits-all protocols, just real answers, deep-rooted healing, and the clarity and confidence you deserve to feel incredible. It's time to shift the paradigm of women's health. Now, on to our show. Good afternoon, Christine.
Good afternoon, Shannon.
Look at the time, because when we first started chatting, it was the morning. Christine and I could chat for a long time. I'm very honored.
I'll have so much fun.
We're gonna have a great conversation, and I mean, Christine has just so much beauty and wealth of knowledge and beautiful energy to share with you guys. So I'm really excited to dive in. Christine really empowers women to reclaim their sacred power and live with purpose, prosperity, and deep self-trust. Through intuitive mentorship and energetic practices, she guides soul-led transformations that awaken their magnetic, empowered selves. And I was talking with Christine before we start recording. I was like, I've had the beauty of knowing Christine the last year, and it's like, that just feels so, I just know the depths of everything that you do. And so I'm so excited for you to introduce yourself. Tell us more on, who you are and how you got into this work.
Oh, what a loaded question. We do not have enough time for that. But what I love doing, I love helping women to inspire them and empower them. We all like to give ourselves a label as a business owner, goddesspreneur, and it's something I really hearted upon. I didn't think upon. I hearted upon this. What is it? And I went back and I reflected on the things that I have been saying for years. And one of the things is I take ancient traditions, modernize them, simplify them, because a lot of our mindsets now, like, if we can do something in 3 steps, can you imagine how wonderful and powerful it'll be in 11? No, it'll get diluted because you're going to forget. Simple. So it's mystical. It comes down to that. And when you think of the word rebel, you think of things breaking up, and that's not incorrect. But when you combine the mystic rebel, I'm here to help bring forth those ancient teachings for the women to reclaim their sovereignty, to become their own mystic rebel, because they're breaking up those mindsets, those paradigms that say they're not good enough. That glass ceiling is like right here, and they can't get through it because they've limited themselves through a variety. Pick a number, any number, pick it, we've all been programmed of what we are able to achieve and not achieve. So what I love doing is help breaking open those glass ceilings, let them crumble, so every single woman can be who she's meant to be, not what you want her to be, Shannon, not what we believe, what they are destined to be and how to live their lives. And that, because when it all comes down to it, and it sounds little girlish, maybe, I just want everybody to be happy. Because when everybody is happy and content in their lives, guess what? The world's a better place, because competition begins to dissipate and end, because I have also proclaimed we have entered the collaboration era. So I am actively supporting especially other women-owned businesses that I love, adore, that I've worked with. My jeweler is a woman-run business in the City of Angels, LA, of course. My aromatherapist is a sacred, fabulous aromatherapist. She is so old in her energy. The things that she still teaches me is fabulous. I promote her. I just love helping other women soar. And to be who they want to be. And when they do that, life becomes magical. They get to live their own Mary Magdalene life, which is the name of my business, the magical life. And the struggle is not real. We get to live in balance. And it's been coming up a lot for me lately. We've all heard about that work-life balance. And for me, it's work-life balance, because that life has so many moving targets. So many. It's not just work and we get to leave that job and then we have life. We have appointments, we have family, we have ourselves. Oh, God forbid we forget ourselves, because we do so much. It's that life balance of putting ourselves first, which isn't selfish, right? It's not selfish because when we tend to us, we then have more to give.
Always.
And if you're a mom, the question I will frequently ask my students and clients, what are you teaching your children by your actions or inactions? That tends to get a lot of, oh,
Mm-hmm.
feedback. Like, oh, I don't want that. Whether you have sons or daughters, what are you teaching them how you value yourself?
Mm-hmm.
By valuing your worth, your dreams, your rest, your health.
Mm-hmm.
What are you teaching them by what you're doing, saying, or not doing? You know, when I first started out a long time ago, our eldest came up to me as a teenage would, Mom, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? Because you know we're not living with you forever. And I went, wait, what? Because up until then, I was a stay-at-home mom. I was a domestic goddess.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But if they weren't going to be there, I could not just sit around and twiddle my thumbs all day long.
Yeah.
So I went back to what I love doing. And the angels, because that was my first step back into my intuitive gifts, said, thank God she's finally listening again. Well, maybe she's listening. And it really evolved from there, and working with the angelic realm. And then that expanded where, I now channel Mary Magdalene. I channel light language, and the gifts just keep growing so I can be more of service. But I made up myself a promise earlier this year that I would not get involved in anything unless it excited me or contributed to my peace.
Mm.
And you know what? That has served me really well. And it's helped me discern what I do want to do. And is this just busy work? Is this just an ooh, shiny moment?
Mm-hmm.
Another can of empty promises? Or will this excite me and contribute to my peace?
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. And those days where I feel like I ought to take Zeke, our dog, for another walk because, walk. And my body's like, are you kidding me? No, 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 no. You go take a bath, young lady.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care if it's 4 o'clock. You just go lay down and rest and take care of you. And that's important. So being that mystic rebel, how cool would it be if we became our own mystic rebel? We pulled in our own ancient wisdom. We became rebellious to things that aren't serving us anymore. Doesn't mean it was bad to begin with,
Yeah.
but it's not serving us anymore.
It's a big one
Yeah.
because so many people are living out of alignment without understanding what alignment actually really means, right?
Right.
You
Right.
know, um,
They're doing the things that they're expected. If
yeah.
I work until I'm 55, 60, 65, 70, whatever your retirement age set point is, I'll start living then.
Yeah.
I kind of beg to differ. Well, maybe you will, but that's kind of sad to wait that long to remember what excites you.
Yeah.
Now, yes, I know that a job is a job and jobs give you money, but you can do things outside that can contribute to your joy, that can contribute and help you expand your interests, your gifts, your magic.
Now, what would some of those things be?
Ooh, what they could do as an activity?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so many things. Uh, so many things. So I have, that's a really good question. No one's ever asked me that. So I have many things that I do as a regular thing that I now attribute to as rituals.
Mm-hmm.
So our current non-negotiable ritual, my husband and I have coffee together every morning. None of these are allowed. We just sit and we talk. What What are we going to do that day? If it's a Monday through Friday scenario, what would we like to do? Not what do you want to do? What would you like to do? It's a difference in just little phrasing. What would you like to do? And sometimes I just want to sit. It's just coming from it. I want to play Zelda today. Cool. Go play Zelda. Or I'm going to go garden. So you find the things that you really love that bring you joy that help you switch out of that brain mentality, that mental capacity. So for me, it is gardening. For me, it's very grounding because I'm using a different part of my brain. I'm very creative. So my palette is the garden. Don't ask me to paint and have anything look pretty except a wall. I can paint walls like nobody's business. Take a room apart, paint a wall, and put it back together before you can blink. And there's magic woven into it because one of my rituals is putting in energetic symbols that are then embedded into literally the foundation of the building, and it changes the energy. I'm an avid sewer, hand sewing. Again, I use my brain in a different way. People can write. You can take a course that excites you. They can book a session with you and learn what's going on with them, because sometimes we become so ingrained in what our day-to-day life is, we forget. Mm-hmm. And we take for granted as, I don't want to say the word decline, but it'll drive the point home. As our lifestyle begins to decline, we don't even understand or recognize because it's very slow and insidious. Mm-hmm. Until days, weeks, months, years later, we'll look back and going, it didn't used to be this way.
Yeah.
Right. And so working with somebody like us can help us remember, help you shake things up, change the mindset from should, which is actually a very evil word, to could, which gives you ample control opportunities. Mm-hmm. And so it's being endlessly curious and sinking in and going, I wonder if, you know what, I've always liked pottery. I may suck at it, or I may be really good at it. Let's go take a class and find out. I may giggle the whole way because it looks like we made it, but I'll have fun doing it. Right? So it's putting that fun back into life that they can infuse. Like something opened up here in Williamsburg recently, and I would love to go. It's an axe throwing place. I do not drink beer. I have no taste for it. But how cool would it be? I mean, there's got to be some life there that I was like an axe thrower. Like, that would be just so much fun to just go do at least once.
Yeah.
Right? Why not?
Yeah.
Right? Go climb Half Dome if you want. Apply. Who knows? Magic happens. Right. So it's exploring and helping you remember what excites you about your life. You know, what were your dreams when you were a child? And I kid you not, when we lived, we called it the old house because we lived in this one house at the end of the block, and then my dad built another house literally at the other end on that corner because my mom was having arthritis issues, and steps at that point were uncomfortable for her. So Daddy literally built a house that was first floor living for Mom. Of course, she is absolutely fine, but it's a testament to love. So at the old house, there was a hedge of private bushes that are very dense. Over time, I carved out a spot and said privets, and I would go sit in there, and I kid you not, Shannon, I would pray for world peace. What child does that? I did. I would just go in there because one of my gifts is empathy. You've seen that in action, some of it. And I can sense when things are off. And I would just go sit in the bushes and pray for world peace. Because, of course, at that time, this is way before you guys were around, was the Vietnam War. So that was a lot of the news. And you'd see the body bags, even though I didn't watch. I've never been a big fan of the news because it's just so heavy. Empath. But I would feel that, and I would go sit in there and talk to Papa, my term of endearment for God, saying, why can't people just get along? Why can't people just do what they want to do? Love who they want to live and be who they really are. So this is something that I've been talking about probably, how old was I then? Probably 9, 10. So this is not a new thing for me.
Yeah.
That's who I've always been. But I find these other activities, sewing, gardening, going out with friends, walking in the woods, because we live very close to, I can be at a river in about a mile, very large river. And so I have all these woods. I can go out in these woods and go get lost and have a great time talking to enslaved energies that are here, because we had a lot of plantations here. So, of course, we have Native American energy here. We have Revolutionary War, Civil War, and I've met a few divine beings in the woods. So I can just go off and amuse myself entirely. And it's a blast.
This is hysterical too, just hearing that from like, a world like mine where I'm like, I have not ever had those experiences, but I love that for you.
Yeah, and that's what my husband says. That's nice, honey. I came home from a walk recently. Oh, I met a new person today. And he looked at me. He was like, uh-huh.
Who would you meet today? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, but being that curious brings you a sense of joy, and it's not being childish. It's
Yeah.
being childlike. So think about your children, or if you can go back, when you were a child, everything was possible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why can't it be? Why can't you go and do what you want to do? Why can't? Give yourself that permission. And that's the key. We can get so caught up in the grind and what we have to do or what we're supposed to do that we lose parts of us. We told our daughters when they were growing up, we don't care what you do when you grow up. It has to have two requirements. It has to be legal, and you have to make enough money to live on your own, because you can't live with us forever. So you might as well do what brings you joy.
Yeah.
And that's still my mission. Do what brings you joy. And when you do that, your life becomes magical.
Something that comes up a lot with clients is that sounds nice on paper, right?
Yes.
Right. But how do I do that? I've got a career I'm drowning in, but I'm high up on the corporate ladder, right? We deal with a lot of high achieving women, right? You know, or they act like they love their job when maybe they don't, but they just convince
Right.
themselves, that they do. They've got kids, they've got other obligations, and it's, we try to find these moments, and just open their eyes to maybe more time or different energy or capacity. We can kind of move in different directions. But when somebody comes in and they're like, I don't really understand how I can do that or what that even feels like.
So initially, I will always start with clutter. It's a big one. We all collect stuff. You can't lie. You all do. We all do. We all have a junk drawer.
Oh, yeah.
We all have way too many books. So I had a talk with a client yesterday, and she's been with me for a bit, and she'd be so proud of me. She goes, I got rid of get this, not 1.5 bookshelves, 1.5 bookcases. She goes, I realized they served me really well, but she goes, will I ever use them again?
Yeah.
No. So energetically, it then becomes stagnant because these books are no longer used. They're literally just sitting there gathering dust. And that energetic stagnation creeps into the physical room. So you've heard of spring cleaning, fall cleaning, and when you do those deep dives in cleaning, doesn't the place feel wonderful? Because you've gotten rid of things. It's an ongoing joke in our family. There's always a bag in our closet. Always. I can make a donation on Tuesday. There was a bag there again on Wednesday, and it's filling up again. You think by now we'd have no clothes.
Yeah.
Nuts. And that's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Because the universe loves, abhors, avoid, depending on your viewpoint. You take something out, it's going to get replaced. So if you are getting rid of things that you are no longer loving, using, or losing, either you love it, you use it, or you lose it. That's the rule. It's very simple, but it can get dicey. But you get rid of it, it's going to get replaced. So you can replace it with something that brings you greater joy. So so if you ever came to our home, you could look at every bookshelf, and every bookshelf has space for at least 3 more books. Because energetically it says, I am still curious, I am still open to learning more. That's how I have set our bookshelves up energetically. I have so many crystals, also a standing joke in our family. They're all over the house, but they are in designated areas to shift the energy, to create a sacred space that this is where we honor family, because they're all heart-shaped crystals. Or here we hear, this has become the house of selenite. Every room has selenite in it. So it's always clearing the energy, which makes it easier for us to get rid of the clutter. Because energetically, it's highlighting, do you really still want that pillow on that chair? Yeah, actually, no, because every time we sit in the chair, the pillow comes off. Does it really complement the chair? Actually, no. So out it goes. So it sounds silly, but at a deeper level, when we get rid of that stuff, that physical stuff, we can then begin to address the mental, the emotional, and those spiritual layers that's been cloaking. And we can take not a harder look, because that does sound harsh, and it can be frightening and intimidating for a lot of us. We can take a softer, deeper look at remembering. So back to your question, what does that even look like? We get rid of the clutter first, which makes space for us to go, I wonder what. Where would I like to travel next? Literally, or maybe travel on via the soul, so you can remember what excites you again.
Yeah. It's hard too when you get so used to things, it doesn't even feel like clutter. You just like,
you're absolutely right. But it gets to the point when you start dusting it all the time, unless you're very blessed to have a regular house cleaner. You're like, I'm tired of lifting all this up. I'm tired of moving it. And I still have that. That's me. I'm like, why do we still have that? We just had a monster size yard sale last week, and I got rid of serving dishes we hadn't used probably for 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, and guess what? We still probably have too many.
You're like, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it sometime.
Right. But I got rid of about 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
That was a good start, because I do have to take my husband in small steps sometimes. You have to take him along the journey. Like, I'm already there. He's like, I kind of like that one still. Really? It's kind of, and fine. Fine. You like it, fine.
Where you're at today.
Yeah, pick the battles. Because he still obviously loves it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the requirements. You love it, you use it, or out it goes.
Yeah.
So if he still loves it, okay, honey.
Yeah. Go. But clutters are really, I've had many people come on here, speak of different energetic hygiene, different things, but clutter hasn't gotten brought up really.
Really?
Which is very interesting. And maybe it sparks here and there, but not quite. And it's like, but this makes so much sense, because you can do all of the other things, but if you still feel this mental, physical clutter, it's going to be really hard to clear it all,
So here's the fun story. Years and years and years ago, I was receiving a reading, and the woman channeled Archangel Metatron. And I won't get into who he is, but it was just him. And I was having problems sleeping, and I was, of course, blaming perimenopause. It wasn't that. And he said, that pile of books on your nightstand? And I blinked. He goes, that's why you're not sleeping. You have all those words coming at you all night long. And my first thought was, he's been in my bedroom? That was my very first thought. And then he's not right. So I don't always succeed, because I do bounce around in what I enjoy reading, but I try to limit it to 2 books on my nightstand.
Me over here.
The goal is one. It's rare that I succeed in that mission, but I attempt for two. I'll be honest, it's usually three, but
Fair. Well, I'm the same way.
yeah, but it's we all gravitate towards what we're familiar with, whether it's serving us or not, because it's familiar. And even in that discomfort, there's comfort
Yeah.
because we know what to expect. So when we get rid of that clutter, we are then stepping literally into new territory.
Mm.
And that people, for as much as we squawk, we want things to be different and we would like to win the lottery and we want to make more money or have this and have that, do this, all those things. But it's funny, how many self-help books, programs are out there because people deep down get scared of that change and then ultimately will self-sabotage, not consciously, because there's a level of worthiness woven in.
Yeah.
Well, if I see, I can tell you it didn't work because blah, blah, blah happened like I told you it would. Well, did you put forth the effort? Did you really want it to begin with? Well, of course I did. Well, you could have. And so when you push back, they'll argue again because change can be scary. Change can be exhilarating, but it's up for you to decide which path you would like to go. So years ago, my very first product was an oracle deck. And an oracle deck, for those of you that aren't familiar, is akin to a tarot deck, but I like things easy. So to me, an oracle deck was easier. The messages were straightforward. There was no upside down, left, right. It was just simpler. And they said, you're going to make your own deck. Well, after I got up from the floor laughing at them, like, because who was I to be making an oracle deck? They said, think about all the other oracle decks you have. And I went, yeah, okay. They're pretty, right? Of course they're gorgeous. They're all these things. Are people paying more attention to the illustration and not the message? And I went, you got me. So my first deck, which I believe you have, is simple.
Mm-hmm.
It stands with two symbols on the deck. Every card has an abstract rose in the upper corner because every message does come from love. It has the angel's symbol and it has the message. It's straightforward because we like to make things difficult. We like to throw wrenches into the path and make it convoluted. But if we can make things more simple, decluttering,
Mm-hmm.
leaning in with curiosity, it doesn't have to be hard.
Mm.
It will mean change, deprogramming that we have to make it difficult. But it can be very simplistic, which does make it, believe it or not, more empowering.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to remember. Oh, I can do that. Brush on my teeth. You're absolutely right. You can.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so often it's like, what more do I have to do? And it's not necessarily, that can be overwhelming in an already overwhelmed culture.
Because let's just face facts, Shannon. I mean, the world is just one stress button after another, right? Everything and everyone appears to be talking over each other, vying for your attention, vying for your dollar, vying for all these things. And it's almost to the point the loudest person wins.
Mm-hmm.
You won't hear me yelling much. I'll yell at my dog when he's being a jerk. But I will also yell when we're watching, some athletic game that I'll get into. It's rare that I'll yell. There's no need to.
Yeah.
There's no need to, because when we speak, and it goes back to, so how many of you can remember from your childhood or your children's inside voices, children? When we are using that inside voice, we are in control. When we start to yell in anger, we are no longer really in our body. We're stepping out of our power. So if we are speaking comfortably, we are speaking our truth. Here's the fun part, which actually is coming from love. And when we speak from love, it's always the truth because love doesn't lie. And when we can love ourselves first, that's the hard one.
Mm-hmm.
When we can love ourselves first, prioritize our health, our happiness, we naturally attract our true love. We naturally attract our perfect home, car, family, friends who become family, students, clients, all of those things, because we're comfortable in our truth. We're comfortable with who we are. We don't have a need to yell because Shannon, you don't have to say you're a beautiful woman. It's obvious, right? Yes, the answer is yes, darling. So you don't have to say that. It just becomes a natural extension of who you are.
Yeah.
So it's multi-stepped. It's a fun journey to break out of that 9 to 5 mentality only, but it can be enhanced so your life becomes more fulfilled and you can change your life.
The big one. I mean, every person has the ability to, whether you
And that's why I always say it's up to you to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not saying yes to me or saying yes to you. It's saying yes to yourself.
Yep. 100%.
And that's the first big step.
Mm-hmm.
Because frequently I have been called, well, aren't we getting too big for your britches? Oh, aren't you getting greedy? And I went, excuse me? No. Have you not learned anything from me personally? Because I give and I give freely.
Mm-hmm.
Being greedy, selfish? No, I am taking care of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I can give more.
Oh, that's a huge one for women, particularly.
Women, particularly, especially if you're a mom.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're not a mom, you still have been taught to take care of others.
Mm-hmm.
And it is deeply woven within us. But to take care of ourselves first is often a foreign concept.
Yeah.
Until we are forced to, and at that point, there's a medical or mental issue at hand because we've been busy taking care of others and ignoring ourselves. And it ought not to get to that level.
I see that a lot.
Yeah.
But if somebody wanted to say yes to themselves and maybe wanted some additional guidance on where to go, what to do, what sort of things do you have personally that can help guide them?
That's a beautiful question. I have a lot of things. And right now, I am very excited. I developed a program years ago. It's called the BU program. And initially, it was developed so you too could be an angel card reader. But I realized more than half of the women in the program had no intention of being a card reader or an intuitive. They were literally doing it to change their lives.
Yeah.
So then it became the BU program. Mm-hmm. So it is angel driven, but please understand, it is not religious. Angels are here to help us. They just happen to have wings and halo in that energetic sense. So that is a program, and I'm going to be running a very free, very free, so it's doubly free webinar very soon to introduce you to some tools with that, how to protect yourself energetically, how to cut, well, first of all, what are indeed energetic cords and how to deal with them, how to cut them. Because people are often afraid of cutting a cord by mistake. Cords of love can never be cut. All the other stuff is discord. So my husband and I are going on 40 years of being married this year. So after 40 plus years of being together, we've had a disagreement or two, right? And if discords were left unattended, there could have been, who knows, a divorce at some point because the discords pile on top of each other. We cut the cords, Well, I do. He just goes along for the ride. I cut the cords, and well, we're going on 40 plus years of marriage, and very, very happy about it. Not because we think we have to. So that free webinar will lead you into an invitation for those that are ready to take that change to enter the BU program. So it's a very lovely journey to remember your essence, to be fully grounded, to know how to better protect yourself energetically, how to tend to your needs, and most importantly, remember who you are and what excites you and contributes to your peace.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's my most up and coming offer. And of course, if you just want to dive right on in and want to work with me personally, I am so honored and would love to have you, and will be honored to walk, support, and take you on your journey. And for that, I have multiple levels.
and I think the website's the best way to contact you.
Yeah. And they could go to my website, MareLavie, MERELAVIE.com, or MareLavieAcademy.com, which is where we host all of the online courses.
Beautiful. And I will put those down below in the show notes so that you guys
Thank
can
you
go
so much, darling.
Christine. And, I thank you for being here, sharing all this beautiful, insight with us. And of course, if you guys listening got some insight, I'm sure Christine would love for you to shoot her over a message. I'll
Oh,
put
I would love to hear about your experiences, your thoughts,
Yep.
questions. Send them my way. I would love to hear them.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I always love to hear them too. So thank you guys for listening. Really appreciate it. And we will catch you on the next show. Thank you, Christine, for being here.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, everyone.